Well, Sam, first day of training under the new manager. How's that gone for you today?
It's been really good actually. Yeah, it's clear to see sort of the positivity and the energy that they're going to bring in training itself. The tempo was very good, very intense session, and then obviously we've all had a meeting at the start as well to sort of air out his plans, I guess. And everyone's met each other now and sort of mingled and got to know each other. And I think it's looking bright and it's looking positive. So a really good first day all round.
Early days, of course, but what are the first impressions of Simon and Mark amongst the squad? Is there an excitement now of working with them?
I think it's sort of the knowledge that they've got and that they clearly have. Just little details that they sort of pick out in training and little conversations that they've already had with myself and a few of the other lads as well. It's clear to see the knowledge of the game first and foremost. Obviously the CVs speak for themselves. And again, just that positive energy that they're bringing into the training and into the setup, and like I say, they're very approachable from the get-go, and that's really good as a player to sort of to interact and have that communication. And I think it's clear to see that we're going to learn quite a lot, and I'm excited for what's to come.
Obviously, the last 7 days there's been a lot of change, a lot of upheaval. So, how important has it been to still have that core staff of Nick, Luke, Carlos, Sean and Dave Conlon, of course?
I think it goes without saying. I think even from the players' point of view, it's sort of carrying on the momentum that we've sort of brought to County. I mean, I know when the gaffer started off, it was sort of like the club needs to go in a certain direction, and I think it's clear to see the direction that we've headed in and the direction that we're going to go in. And I think that's crucial to keep staff and players that understand what it's like to play for County and understand what it's like to represent County and everything that comes with that, because there's a lot that comes with that, and I know that having that connection between the fans and the club is so important. And I think keeping the staff like you say with Dave and the names that you just mentioned, and alongside some of the players as well that have made a lot of appearances for this great club, I think that's vital. And yeah, I think it's just a case of kicking on and keeping that and then adding to it.
I suppose it's difficult at the minute when you've got a big game coming up on Saturday and then another big game the following Tuesday. Has Simon had a chance to sit down and talk to you about the long-term aims and what he wants from you in the long term, or has it just been focusing on Saturday?
I guess he's sort of touched on it a little bit. Naturally, sort of what he's going to bring and the ambition of the club, but I think that's been clear to see from the start anyway. So I don't really think, as a player, we need to be told anymore. We know what the ambitions are and what the objective is, and that's promotion, and it's as simple as that. So long term, we all know what we need to achieve. Short term, like I say, I think that's probably the most important thing right now. There isn't much time in between the appointment and the first game, and obviously it's an away trip as well, so we've got to stay over and whatnot. So not much time to sort of, I guess, work on too much. So I think the key messages are going to be put out there, and sort of his style of play and stuff we've sort of worked on today, and I'm sure we'll work on tomorrow as well, getting ready for Woking, and like you say, just focus on the next game, because that's the most important game, and 3 points and another win.
Looking more on the footballing side of things, obviously we had that game at Kings Lynn called off on Tuesday. How frustrating was that? Because being around the ground in the morning, there seemed a real buzz and confidence going into that game. Just
very frustrating. I think the season's been so disruptive. Naturally it was always going to be, but then it just seems at County especially, there's just been even more disruption with games being called off last minute, and like you say, we were sat on the coach ready to set off, the cards were out, we're ready to get going, and then it's like the game's off, and it's just a shame, because we were really excited for the opportunity to get another 3 points and to show what we can do, and like you say, it just seems to be one of those seasons really. But I think the key is just to keep focused and keep the motivation levels high, even if there is a letdown of games being called off or whatever it may be. Just sort of staying focused on the task in hand, and when the time comes, we'll be ready for each game, and yeah, just show our qualities.
Has that been the biggest problem this season, that sort of inability to really build up a bit of momentum? Every time we win a few games on the bounce, there seems to be one called off for one reason or another.
I think, if I'm being honest, yeah, I think definitely it's just been a very stop-start season, and as a player and as a team, a group of people, you just want to keep working on things and keep being able to show all of the hard work that goes into training. Ultimately, that comes out in the game, and you sort of work so hard all week, ready for that 90 minutes where you give everything and put it all out on the field, and then to be told it's off is sort of like, let's regroup and restart and then go again. And if you keep having to do that, it can be tough, but it's just the reality of the world that we're living in at the minute, and we're all aware of that. And I just think that come the end of the season, the team that deals best with these obstacles and jumps over the hurdles and just cracks on and lives in sort of a no excuse environment will be the ones that will probably shine on and have the success. So that's what we need to do.
Looking ahead to Woking at the weekend, they're a team that County have really struggled against a lot in the past. In fact, I don't think we've ever actually beaten them in a competitive game. But how well prepared do you feel to hit the ground running under the new manager?
Always well prepared, like I say. I think it's been clearly stated that a lot of what we've done is going to continue. The ideas, the philosophy, whatever it may be, a lot of the core stuff's going to carry on. So and I know that the new management have said that as well. But then they'll have their own twist and their own added details, which I'm going to fully embrace, and everyone's going to fully embrace, and I'm sure it's going to keep us kicking on. And like you say, I see no reason why we can't go to Woking and beat them, and keep this winning mentality that we've built up so many years. We've had so much success here, and I can only see it going in one direction. I've always said that, and I feel really confident that with the new with the new management and the work that's gone on previously, that's just going to lead to success. And you can say that with confidence because of the belief that you can see in everyone that is on board with it. And then, like you say, Saturday's our first chance to show that. And I think with the work that we've done today and the work we'll do tomorrow, on top of everything else and all that combined, like I say, I can only see it going one way, but we've got to make it happen, as always.
And just finally, Sam, I don't know if you guys are looking too closely at the league table at the minute, but obviously Torquay have dropped a few points of late in the last couple of games. Is that an extra motivation for you now, the chance to win a few games and potentially close the gap over the next few weeks?
Me personally, and I think a lot of the boys are the same, it's like, I don't think that needs to be our motivation. I think your motivation comes from yourself and what you want to achieve, and that's got to come from wanting to better yourselves and wanting to just win every game, take every game as it comes. I think people can sometimes get lost in what's going on elsewhere, and if they picked up a point or if they lost the game, and it's like, ultimately we've got to win our games, and I think that's got to be the main focus, and I think it is the main focus with us. I know it's nice that other teams are dropping points, and form seems to be, we've unbeaten at 5, I think it is, so in the league, so our form's looking good, but we're just focusing on ourselves really and what we can do and bring our qualities out, because if you look around the group and the squad and the staff, there's so much quality there and there's so much ambition, so it's just bringing that out really and focusing on ourselves, and I'm sure if we do that then it can only end well.
Listen, all the best for Saturday.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.